So for this, we are looking at raw files now. We just looked at a JPEG in the previous video, and it had quite harsh shadows. And when we tried to recover those shadows, we couldn't. There was nothing there. There was no data there in the file itself. It did not know what was under those shadows. So as a comparison, here is a raw file with equally dark shadows. Let's zoom in here. Basically black. You can get a little outline of something there. Not sure exactly what it is, but there's some quite harsh shadows. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see what happens in a raw file if we adjust our shadows. So I'm just going to pull them up a little bit. I'm just going to reset here. My settings are all a mess right now, so I have to kind of do everything manually. Okay, so we have this dark shadow here. I'm going to go ahead and just show you on the slider, again, nice and simple. I'm just going to pull those shadows up. Okay, we're starting to see a figure here. What if we bring up the exposure as well? All right. Look at the histogram. Don't worry about it yet. This is just a little preview. Keep an eye on that histogram for me. Okay, so we have a full figure. We can see a person. We see another person behind them. We can see the signs. We can see the reflection. None of that was visible before. If we go even further here, I'm just going to go and quickly put on a mask just to isolate this bottom part where the shadow was and just show you how much more data is even in there. Look at that. So let's look at these back to front here. So this is our lifted shadows. This is what it looked like before. All of that data was hidden in the raw file. If we go in close, yep, it's a little bit messy because of how dark it was, but there are ways to adjust for this, fix for this, process it a little bit more, a little bit less in order to clean up this mess. But the point here is that there was all this data hidden behind a shadow. And the same goes for highlights. This will happen as well in highlights. There will be some hidden stuff in a highlight there that you can recover in a raw file that you wouldn't be able to do in a JPEG. I'm going to pull up a photo from Sean Macon, the other teacher. And in this picture, he's probably going to kill me because I'm going to kind of destroy it, just showing you guys what's kind of hidden in here. But then I will show you his final edit, which is much better than what I'm going to show you. But if we see, we have some hot spots in the highlights here because the sun is directly behind. I'm going to say tractor. Please don't actually me. I have no idea. I will admit that I don't know. I think it's a tractor. There's probably a better word for it. But if we see that there is some highlights kind of spilling through here from the direct sunlight, we can bring some of that detail back. Look at the sky. Look at all that color that is coming back just from the highlights alone. Now imagine what you can do if you actually spent some time adjusting this. I'm going to show you, so that's just a quick adjustment. I'm going to show you Sean's edit. And if you look at them in quick succession, you're going to see a couple other things that maybe changed that might surprise you. So I'm just going to reset this back. This is the original. And this is Sean's edit. You guys see that movement as well on the edges? Okay, so he did some lens corrections as well, and raw files really allow you to kind of play with that. And some of the processing software will often have those lens corrections built in. But look at those highlights. Look how he was able to fill in those highlights and at the same time lift the shadows on the tractor, question mark. But he got some beautiful detail back in the sky that wasn't visible as we pulled the image in. It was hidden in the data of the raw file. So the moral here is that raw files really give you some latitude on your highlights and shadows. They also give you a lot more latitude on literally everything: color, White balance is a big one. I tried to find a good example of some off-white balance. I'll just pull up a quick one here. So let's reset this back. Quite dark, quite blue image. I'm able to adjust my white balance much more finely with a raw file. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but it went from blue to quite more warm, and you can adjust it as you wish, much better. The cool thing about shooting in RAW is that you don't have to worry about whatever white balance setting is on your camera, because you're going to be fixing it in post regardless. That data is not relevant. Whereas a JPEG, whatever white balance you have chosen, that is actually assigned to the JPEG file. So it gives you less room for movement there. All right, so let's just take a quick look again at the two images, recovering our shadows. No lady. Hello. Okay, bye. And then our highlights. Blown out, can't quite see the colors, to vibrant, beautiful colors. And that is the biggest benefit of shooting in RAW.